أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله الذي خلق السماوات والأرض والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه وخاتم الأنبياء المرسلين سيد الأولين والآخرين شرف المذنبين رحمة للعالمين محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين لا إله إلا الله جليل الجبار لا إله إلا الله عزيز الغفار لا إله إلا الله وحيد القهار لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له وحيدان ونحن له مخلصون لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له وحيدان نحن له مسلمون لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له وحيدان نحن له عابدون اللهم صل على مصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وعلى علي وبيت فاطمة وستين السيدين علي حسن وحسين يسر يرب على زين الدين علي وباقي محمد وصادق جعفر وكان موسى وريد علي وتاكي محمد ونافي علي أزكي على صلاة سكاري وحجة كاين وصاحبه الأزمان اللهم اجعل بأنصاره المهاجدين تحت اللواء قال الله تعالى في مقام الكتاب العزيز بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعادة زني إذ صدق الله العلي العظيم. Allah in the Holy Quran said, O ye who believe, avoid most suspicion, for surely suspicion in some cases is a sin. As we was talking about how Allah He tells us to avoid suspicion and always put a good twist on something, never put it in a bad way. And that even if something is brought to us bad, we should put a better twist on it, a better turn on it. But we should also understand that this sin of suspicion leads to another sin. I said, well, I really do this. Because a lot of times when we have suspicion, it leads us to backbite also. It leads from one thing to the next. Suspicion can lead one from one sin to another. The other sin is backbiting. We know that both are grave sins. Imam Ali Rida alayhi salam has said, the believers are like brothers who have the same accursed. He who deceives his brother has the same fault. He said, he who deceives his brother is cursed. And he who hides himself from his brother is cursed and cursed. And he who backbites his brother is cursed. So the thing about backbiting, what we have to be careful of, that backbiting hurts the person. They said that one time there was a scholar, he was on his way to a journey, a big time Shaykh, he was big. And he had to use the hammam, but they was on a journey. So he went out and he went to use it, but he realized he didn't have any water. So he said, when I reach to my destination, I will use some water. So the people, they saw this and they said, well, look, this Shaykh is unclean. He's unclean. And because of this, people stopped praying behind the Shaykh. They stopped going to his class, and they lost all the benefits in which this Shaykh had to give to them because of this suspicion that led to the backbiting of this Shaykh. Even though the Shaykh did clean himself when he gets to the next area, but the suspicion of thinking that this person did never clean himself hurt themselves, but didn't hurt the Shaykh, but they hurt themselves. Because we know that it said that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he made the Miraj to the Hijrah, they said he saw two angels. And one of the angels, they were slicing the flesh of the back of one of the man, and the other angel was shoving the flesh down the throat of the other. So the Prophet Muhammad asked, why is this angel doing this? They said, because this man used to backbite the other. It's backbite. So we see that backbiting is something that is a grave sin. And it's not only that, it's many hadiths on this. It said one other time that once a few companions sent Salma to bring food from the kitchen of the Holy Prophet. After obtaining the Holy Prophet's permission, he went to Usama bin Zayd, who was in charge of the Holy Prophet's kitchen. But as there was nothing in the kitchen, he returned to the companions with empty hands. They laughed at Salman and Usama and branded them as close-fisted misers. Then they came to the Holy Prophet, who told them, "I see particles of flesh in your teeth." It is the flesh of Salman and Usama. They said, then the verse of the Quran was revealed. "O you who believe, avoid most suspicions, for surely suspicion in some cases is a sin, and do not spy nor let some of you backbite others. Does one of you like to eat the flesh of his dead brother? But you arbor it, and be careful of your duties to Allah, sure Allah is oft returning to mercy, merciful." So, but you find in other riwayat that when they had came to the Prophet, these two people, that the Rasulullah had asked them, "Did you eat any meat?" Rasulullah, and he said, "No, Rasulullah, we haven't ate any meat." He said that, "Well, I smell the meat on your breath." Oh, this is what one riwayat has said, that the Prophet Muhammad has smelled the flavor of meat on their mouth from the backbiting they had done of this people. So he has smelled it. So we see that from the suspicion that we have that can lead to sinning, leads to something else that's even graver, is that of backbiting. Al-Bara ibn Azib has said, "The Messenger of Allah delivered a sermon to us once until the free ladies in their homes heard him. He said, 'O folks who have believed in tongue but not in heart,'" well, believe in tongue and not in heart, "do not backbite the Muslims, and do not trace their shortcomings. Of his brothers, Allah will trace his shortcomings, and if Allah traces his shortcomings, he will expose him even in the deepest depths of his home." This is very serious, because just think about how many Muslims believe in the male and females that lost everything they have, their honor. Because when we look at the honor of a person, this is something which can never be replaced. As though we see like a corpse. We see a corpse, of course. And if somebody was to take a piece of that corpse, just rip the piece of that corpse, that piece would never be replaced. This is the honor and dignity of the person in which we had, gave bad suspicion and backbit. That piece of their honor will never be able to be replaced. And in return, we had sinned. We had ate the person's flesh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر وآخر دعوانا والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام على محمد وآله الطاهرين.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.